This is the strongest season I've ever seen alone in the wild. Every player is a hunter. Very good hunting ability. Use your hair to go fishing. I successfully ate the grilled fish dinner. But hunt. The squirrel wanted to quit. The first episode of Alone in the Wild featured only 6 contestants. The second episode continued with the introduction of the remaining 4 contestants. Tenrin start his first time is to find a place to build shelter. There are many trees here, but it's not a flat position. It is very prone to landslides. Tenrin has extensive field experience. Both he and Juan are Canadians, which means they have a huge advantage in the snow. Jin Tan is a surgeon. He knows how to protect himself and treat himself, and that's really one of his strengths. His mother is Chinese, married to a Canadian husband. Tanrin participated in Wilderness alone mainly for the 500,000 prize money. Soon he found a suitable position. Tanrin decided to set up a temporary shelter here. Time to the next day. There was a lot of mist on the water in the morning. Winter is approaching in the Labrador wilderness. Terry saw a harbor seal on the water this morning. If I could hunt a seal and eat it. The first month must have been very comfortable. Terry has a lot of fishing experience. Only 4 months a year. The rest of the time is free. He would go hunting in the wild. No accident. Terry is another wild survival hero. Terry gets up early to explore and hunt. Now he was very thirsty. The last few days, he only wanted to solve the problem of shelter and fire. The materials collected for the fire are left outside. It was wet with fog. The environment in Labrador is humid. It's very difficult to make a fire here. Terry is looking for the right material for a fire. He cut down some wood chips and keep trying to make a fire. He could not light the fire until dark. You can imagine how difficult that is. Terry spent the day building a fire. Eventually, he gave up. Now he is very thirsty. He's not going to get enough juice for 10 girls. His tent is directly over the sleeping bag. Terry's start does not seem to have been so smooth. Morning of the 3rd day. Tom looked around for OARS for breakfast. It's windy where he lives. Protein is very important to him, so he's in no rush to build a shelter. You get the food first. Don't work until you're full. The players are very strong this season. Each player will not start with the same mindless shelter as before. You work as much as you eat. This ensures energy balance throughout the day. Careful friends will notice. Every player this season has a bow and arrow. It's a full-on hunt for survival. Tom heard the squirrel here. The squirrel was up in the tree flirting with Tom. I don't know if I'm going to die in front of a hunter. Tom's aim was an arrow. A squirrel is easy to get. Bow hunting looks hard. It's not easy at all. He started to stew when he got back to the shelter. Come here for 3 days and eat meat on your own. Such a player is really good. Time came to the 5th day. Shelters are already being set up on Adam's side. He is a carpenter. He is very good at hunting and catching fish. Here he plans to build a shelter in a wooden house. Adam's strategy this time is to build a strong shelter. And hunting a black bear. The shelter he built was a ramp shelter. Put fir branches on the roof. It not only keeps the rain out, it also provides insulation and warmth. The sides of the shelter are stacked with moss and wood. This can also play a good wind effect. Adam, this shelter is sure to be very comfortable in the winter. It's only been a day. Adam actually built a wooden shelter. There is also a wooden bed inside. Can you imagine such a speed? There were pictures of her and her girlfriend at the shelter. It's more like a family. I don't know whether my girlfriend is doing well with Lao Wang at home. On the morning of the 6th day, Terry got up and made a fire. Thirsty for so many days. Finally, a sip of clean, fresh water. He's probably having the worst time right now. I've already eaten meat. He took a sip of water. And the shelter is not yet complete. Now he wants to build a permanent shelter in an A shape. Terry is a hunter, but for the construction side is his weakness. Building shelters is not his strong suit, but it won't be like the Danish version of solitary in the wild and set up a shelter. Now he's going to the river to fish. Fishing is his forte. Just get enough food. The shelter almost survived for a long time. Soon he caught a big fish. In fact, the current is very strong where Tom is. There must be plenty of fish too. If the technology is good, eating fish every day is not a problem here. The fish Tom caught was not small. That's enough for him to feed himself. This trout is his dinner tonight. Tom suddenly had shelter and fish. Life suddenly moist up. On the 7th day, Tan Ren has also started building shelters. He makes the best of his surroundings. Build a shelter that fits your needs. A fireplace is planned for this location. A shelter with a fireplace is very important. Can handle the cold of the Labrador winter ahead. But digging a hole this deep in the ground, people who don't know it think it's a shithole. He is going to make a smoke vent over the pit. Setting up the fireplace was a big job. You need a lot of clay. Tenrin used clay to build a wall. Pile clay on top of the shithole to dry and harden the clay faster. He lit a fire in the shithole. I sometimes have a hard time understanding the behavior of the contestants. The time came to the 8th day. Tom is still a temporary shelter. He's going to fish and eat, but you need bait to fish. He's had green hair for a few days since he was here. My wife must be well taken care of by Lao Wang at home. Those green hairs aren't all bad. Tom cut off his green hair. He plans to use the hair as a fishing lure. Now he owns the fishing line, squirrel's tail, and his own hair and fish hooks. He tied the hook together with his hair. A fishing rod is done. Tom took a fishing rod to the river to fish. Soon a fish was caught. After a while, he harvested 2 big fish. That's a lot of luck. Soon the time came to the 10th day. Jacques uses the same method to fish. He caught a trout, too, all excited to show off for the camera. Of course, you're happy to have a successful first hunt. Each successful hunt will increase the confidence of the players. Jacques put the fish on the shore to dispose of. As long as there is skill, fishing is not difficult here. When Jacques returned to the shelter, the fish is grilled directly on a stick. Soon the fish was cooked. This is the first time I've eaten fish. It feels so good. The squirrels and grouse that were hunted before didn't taste as good as grilled fish. Now his confidence is very high. There's fire and food and beautiful shelter. As long as he doesn't miss his family, I'm sure I'll survive for a month. On the 11th day, Adam's shelter is all set up. He's got the perfect shelter right now. Now we just need to focus on the hunt. Adam went hunting in the jungle with a bow and arrow. A lump of animal feces was found on the ground. After tasting, it was confirmed to be black bear feces. He scoured the top of the mountain without seeing any prey. I was attracted by the view. Suddenly, I heard a grouse cry behind me. Adam immediately rushed over with a bow and arrow, but he missed the shot from a distance. Fortunately, the grouse didn't get far. Adam aims and shoots again. I'll give you 2 chances to screw up. You don't go hunting without looking for chickens. It's good to have 2 shots. It's a shame to go home empty-handed. Time came to day 12. Jacques is having a checkup this morning. I eat the most meat here, but the body is still very thin. You starve 9 times a day here. Pooping every day is becoming a luxury for them. It is necessary to cut wood every day. Gather enough firewood to keep warm at night, but chopping wood is physical work. Soon I was tired and lying on the ground. Suddenly, I heard the squirrel again. Jacques took his bow and arrow and went a hunt. The squirrels nearby are very loud. Seeing a squirrel is an arrow. Jacques thinks hunting is as easy as taking a shit. I can't take off my pants without seeing shit. When you draw the bow, you will see blood. A squirrel this small hits with an arrow. Jacques is a really good hunter. A squirrel doesn't have a lot of meat. Lost waste. I can't get enough to eat. Now Jacques has hunted 2 squirrels, a grouse and a big fish. It's fair to say he ate the best. Keep going with this trend. Winning the title is not a big problem. Adam was still thinking about yesterday's grouse. He realized that hunting with a bow and arrow is difficult, and it's all about luck. To increase the variety of food, he decided to make a fishing rod and go fishing. Adam whittled a stick into a fishing pole. If there's bamboo nearby, I wouldn't be wasting my energy here. He found a tarp. It has a lot of metal loops on it. Adam used his knife to remove the metal loop, attach it to the fishing rod. Adam came to the shore and tried his hand at fishing. The new fishing rod soon came into play. Adam caught a small fish. He keeps trying here. The fish caught was not big, but very tasty streamed fish. The joy of fishing made him forget the grouse's sorrow. Adam got hooked on fishing. He's getting more and more addicted here. Be unable to understand. The mermaids were caught by Adam. Adam caught a lot of fish today. They also picked wood ears. After this fish meal is destined to shit. At night, Adam eats grilled fish in the shelter. This fish is no more delicious than that chicken. After eating, Adam whittled a wooden toy. Being hungry is all about eating. I think about all kinds of things when I'm full. These high people really can't feed them too much. The time came to the 14th day. Jacques spent the morning in the shelter thinking about squirrels. He thinks squirrels are cute. How can he eat them? He doesn't like killing squirrels for money. I sometimes have a hard time understanding the behavior of the contestants. You're the one who eats the most squirrels. When the high guy had his fill, he began to show mercy. Why didn't I see you think that when I was hungry? The time came to day 15. Jacques had been sitting on the bank all morning and was going crazy. He regretted his squirrel hunting. So I decided to stop it. He's quitting the game and going home. Jacques' reasons for quitting are the first I've seen. I've seen them starve out. I've seen a family drop out. I've seen injured dropouts. But I've never seen anyone drop out of a race. Against a player like that, the show better find the fuck hundreds of thousands. Send them home crying. Otherwise, it would be so easy to waste the slots. Is to maliciously deprive others of the opportunity to get rich. So what else do the contestants have in store for us next? Look forward to an update in the next video.